to the cloud. We are ready. It is 8:01. I'm super excited. Susan Kaufman joining us tonight, guys. Oh my gosh, so much in store. Okay, so first off, I want you guys to get a piece of paper because this woman is going to give you some incredible golden nuggets. We are sideline sisters via Maria, both frontline to Maria, and I have been blessed with her presence, blessed with her friendship for many years now, and I truly, truly love just learning from her and being inspired from her. And she is one of those, you've heard that saying, do the do to get the get. This girl is a perfect example of that. Do the do to get the get. She definitely does the do. And so I was telling you guys about her customers. I don't want to spill the beans or anything, but I do want her to go into detail of what she's doing. Susan, just real quick, how many times have you been entered in Maria's promo this month so far?
6.
6 times. Wow. Okay, so that means she's got 6 customers thriving for free just this month. That's incredible, guys. She's got so much to explain and to just basically spill the beans with us. We all know there's no secret sauce, but hearing from someone else, there's just magic in that. Hearing from someone else, it just seems like, oh, well, you don't relate to Jennifer, but you can relate to Susan. You know what I mean? Just hearing it from someone else, that third-party validation, you just get it. The light bulb moment goes off, right? And it clicks. I promise you guys, it's all going to go off for you tonight because Susan Kaufman is incredible. Love, love this woman, green carpet or not, wood stain on her bookshelves or not. I love this woman. I mean, I love to surround myself with her. I love to learn from her. I'm on her morning 7:15 call every single Monday morning. I know all of us join in on that. It's just super inspirational. But I also love plugging into her power hour because I love learning from her. And so that's why I asked for her to be a guest on our Team Zoom tonight, because I know that I love learning from her. I wanted her to share with all of you guys. And so I really don't have a topic tonight. I really don't have a timeline, Susan. I kind of just want you to share what's on, by the way, you look beautiful. But I just want you to share what's on your heart. Talk to us about the calendar challenge and how that got started, because I know you're the inventor of that. But also talk to us about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you know, how it's kind of merged over to that. And how do you balance your day? I mean, you know, you got 2 crazy busy kids, you got a husband, you know, you're living this rock star life. You are super, super in the zone, in the trenches. How do you balance that? Because sometimes life gets hard. Sometimes life gets busy. And then talk to us a little bit about life happening to you. I know that that's happened before, but how do you know, overcome that? There's a lot of questions thrown at you, and I can totally revert back, but just give it to us, girlfriend. Take it away. This is Susan Kaufman. Everybody give her a warm welcome.
Yay! So I love speaking on these, but I want to start with all of you just saying this. I do not ever claim to have all the answers. I am constantly feeding my brain with learning things from other leaders. And Zant, like, I mean, she sat with me before and I'm like, tell me about these working Zooms that you do. We had never done that before. And now we do them every day of the week because we learned it from your leader. And so like that, I love that kind of stuff because I never want anybody to ever think that I have the end all perfect answers to everything, because I don't, but I constantly learn and then I tweak to what's going to work for me. So I will preface a lot of this with, please don't think that I'm sounding pretentious or that I'm sounding bragging, but there's things that I do that are working. There's things that I do that don't work. So I'm not going to tell you about those. So anyway, but you know, Jennifer asked me, she was like, how many customers do you have auto shipping this month? Or how many, what is your PPA? And so you need to know that I work Susan Kaufman's account. I'm smart in the fact that I work Mike Kaufman's account. And then that 18-year-old kid that I have, somehow I've taken over his account because he's just too busy, but he sure likes the little credit card income that comes in and his trailer payments getting made every month. And I remind him daily that his mama is freaking awesome. And I just have to tell you, today he broke his phone, and so he had to get a new phone. And I was like, responsibility, I'm not just going to give you a new phone. You have to pay the deductible. So he wrote me a check for the deductible today, and I can't remember what it said. It was written out, not to Susan Kaufman, it was written out to best mom ever. I was like, heck yeah. And then he said he was at working some cattle or something the other day. He's like, Mom, I think I've decided that you're kind of famous. Like, his last name is different than mine because I'm remarried, and this lady comes up to him and she has a Thrive patch on, and I don't know, she saw something. She was like, are you Susan Kaufman's son? And he was like, yes, that's my mom. And she was like, oh my gosh. And he said, Mom, I think you're famous. I was like, in the Thrive world, maybe. I don't know. But it was like, it made him feel good to know. It was like, man, people really like listen to my mom. But so I don't want this to sound pretentious, but I want to tell you that I've built an organization from having amazing leaders on my team who we all learn from, and we don't mind learning from other people. And we've learned of the things that do not work, and so we don't dwell on those. So when she asked me about my customers, and I've had another leader that I'm going to talk with in the morning, another millionaire in this team, she was like, listen, I can bust out 12Ks and promoters like crazy, but I barely get my 2 customers every month. How in the world, Susan, are you doing this? So yes, this month, which means they're auto shipping from last month to this month. What did I just tell you, Jennifer? 16, 17? Which means they've ordered in the months before. Their auto ships are coming through this month. And now I have 6 more already who have not been thriving for free. So we added more customers, and now I've got 6 more customers next month that are thriving for free. If you're doing the Auto Bonus Elite, let me just tell you how hard that is. That is not easy. That is not something that just happens overnight. You not only have to have 2 12Ks on your team, and you be a 40K, I think at least, but you have to have 12 customers every month that auto ship. That is not easy. So it's consistency, it's retention. How am I doing that? What am I doing? Because do I have the same 12 order every month, or 15 or 16? No, it's new ones circling in. But how do I make sure that they keep ordering each month? Well, I'm making sure that they're getting their products for free. I think 12 of the 15 or 16 that are auto shipping this month were free. So that sealed that deal right there, right? But did I do that in 1 month? No, I did not. I have consistently worked on things every single day without fail to make that happen. So how do I do that? So she asked me, Jennifer said, talk about this calendar challenge. So back when I first started this business, I was a single mom of 2 kids. Many of you probably heard that story a zillion times. You're probably tired of hearing it. I was a single mom of 2 kids, and I was working about 40 to 50 hours a week as a marketing director for a car dealership. And so I think there were 12 dealerships at the time. So can you imagine how much time I was on the road? My brain was all over the place. That was a very stressful, fun job, don't get me wrong. It is how I met Lindsay Dickens, so who is a millionaire on my team. So thank goodness that I had that connection. But what I quickly figured out when I decided to take this business seriously is there was going to be things every day that I needed to do, and I didn't want to try to remember them when I got in the car, because your mind just goes blank. You're like, what was I supposed to do? Who was I supposed to call? Who did I give a sample to? Like, your brain is for thinking, not for remembering. So you don't want to have to try to fill up that space with things that you need to remember. I mean, my kids do this to me all the time. They're like, hey, when we get home, don't forget to do this. By the time I get into the car and back home, I've already forgotten what you told me. Write it down. So I quickly figured out little things that I needed to do each day. And what I would do is I would put them on sticky notes like this, and I would stick it on the console in my car when I got in the car the next morning to go to work. So if it was somebody that I needed to call back, follow up with, whatever, post social media, or add somebody to my network, whatever the situation, or be on a call, I didn't have to try to remember it. I could see this on my console, and it was all written out for me. Easy breezy, right? So I was in the car a lot. So call this person, put them on Bluetooth, drive, let Maria talk to them. Don't worry about it, right? That's what I did every single day. Well, I decided I needed to get a little bit more in depth with that. And through that process of doing the sticky notes and reminding myself, we did become a 200K team, but I was still working full time, and I was still a single mom of 2 kids. So there was a lot of work to do. And you can't just play around with Thrive if you're a 200K. I'm sorry. Like, that's a job. But I couldn't leave that full-time job yet, so I really had to get organized. And that was not my strong suit. by any means. It's kind of funny now that people ask me about my organization skills, because 5 years ago that would not be done. So I created this little sheet right here. I'm showing y'all this notebook because this is just one notebook of all the calendar challenge sheets from every week. So this is just one notebook. I always like to pull this out because as a 4K, 12K, that's what I started with. Yeah, this is what I started with. I did turn it into a cute little tick mark sheet where I could just look at that sheet and go, oh, I need to be reaching out to 10 people, or, oh, I need to be on LaBelle Live, or, oh, I don't have to remember this. Oh, ooh, guess what I didn't do today? I didn't do any self-development today. I better get that done before the day is over with. And so I kept that little secret to myself for like a year. Don't do that. If you got something that's working, share it with your team. I did not. So I asked my team, I just put out on my little team page, I was like, hey, I kind of created this little thing called a calendar challenge. Who wants to do it with me? And I think 36 of them said, give it to me. 36 people. 36 people said, send me the sheet. I said, I want you to do it for 90 days straight and let's see what happens. In that first 90 days of them doing it, 33 of them earned their car bonus. 33 of them earned their first trip with LaBelle. So voila, we figured out that thing might actually work. So we stuck with that for a long time. That eventually moved into what, who created the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet? I want to say it was Beth Graves, but I don't know.
I think it was Beth. I'm not sure. I think it was Beth.
So she basically took it, well, I don't know if she took it from the calendar challenge, but as soon as that calendar challenge sheet, I let that out. Then Maria started using it. We've all used it. And it's just the daily do. It's a no-brainer. It's the daily do. Well, I really like the way Beth Graves laid out her 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet. And that's kind of what I ddid. Plus, I had became like, you know, the big 5-second rule with Mel Robbins. 5 things from, how many, we hear all this. Was Mel Robbins the one who did the 5-second rule? Yes. Yeah. Just, yeah, I loved that concept. So I switched to this. Guys, business, 6.5 years. 6 years, 5 months, I've been doing one of these little things. Now, mind you, I didn't tell anybody about it for a year. Again, not my smartest move. But even today, as a millionaire in this company, even today, I print one of these out every single Sunday night, and I get ready to work this sheet. I don't, and just tonight, right before I got on this, I was like, oh my gosh, I set a goal for myself to study Spanish during the quarantine. I've been doing Duolingo every day for 15 or 20 minutes. And I just looked at my sheet and realized I had not done it today. I just hadn't stopped long enough to do it. So I got that done right before I jumped on here. De nada, you're welcome. Okay, so anyway, so I do this every day. Do I just do 5 reach outs and 4 follow-ups and 3 social media and 2 added names and 1 connect with a leader? Heavens, no, I do not. Today alone is 37 reach outs. Today alone is already probably, I haven't added them all up. I know there's probably at least 50 follow-ups.
Okay, so I think I just saw everybody's jaw hit the floor. So 30-ish or more reach outs in one day. Give us some examples.
Okay, so how do I do that? Does that mean that I send a message to 30-something non-thrivers and say, hey, do you want to thrive with me? No. No. My reach outs are not just that. They some of them are, but most of them are sending a birthday message. I do a lot of custom conscious comments. If you don't know what those are, that means I go on people's posts and I literally write something custom about their post, their kids, their graduating kids. That's been my biggest one. Oh my gosh, your kid looks great. What's next for them? Where are they going? What happens after their graduation? I end with a question. That right there is my first piece of building a relationship with them. And most of the time I will post on their post, you know, a custom conscious comment on their post, but then I'm going to go ahead and click and send it over to Messenger, pretending that they're not going to see my comment and say, hey, you come up on my news feed. I see that your kid's graduating. Where are they going from here? That counts as a reach out. Why? Because they don't thrive with me. I'm starting the relationship with them, starting it. I do that at least 30 times a day, not all at once. That's exhausting because it is hard to be custom and conscious 30 times in one sitting. Like, makes your head hurt. And you get tired of scrolling. I do it a lot in stories too. So my reach outs are that. My birthdays, where I send a birthday message. Oh my gosh, happy birthday. What do you get to do special during this Rona birthday? It's my favorite phrase is the Rona. I blame everything on the Rona. I even have a pet snake outside right now that showed up in my backyard. I call her Miss Rona. I don't like the Rona, and I don't like snakes. So anyway, I do everything like that. So everything ends with a question. So if I have 10 birthdays, well, that's an immediate 10 reach outs, right? Unless they're thrivers. I don't get to count those. Those are follow-ups. But it's all day, every day. Every custom conscious comment that I put on somebody. Now, here's a fun one that I do. Here's a fun reach out. I really try to challenge myself to do this 10 times a week, not a day. If I did it per day, could you imagine what would happen? I will find somebody that's a non-thriver on my Facebook, and I will literally get the phone and I will go into Messenger and go, oh my gosh, your profile just came across my Messenger or across my Facebook feed. I cannot believe that I have never talked to you about what I do for a living. So I don't know if you've seen my Facebook. And I do this all in a voice clip, so it's fast and not a whole bunch of words that they have to scroll and see. And I literally am like, I cannot believe that I have not talked to you about this Thrive thing yet. Do you mind if I just pop you over some quick information? I'm running into the store, but when I get back out, if you're cool with that, pop me over your email. And man, I hope you're having a great day. I mean, I still asked them a question. Would you mind if I popped you some of that information? There's no way in the world they just popped across my news feed, but I found them as a non-thriver, and I'm going to reach out to them. That is, again, those are usually my chicken list people that I don't want to reach out to, but I know I need to. But man, has that paid off?
Real quick question for you. So in your reach outs, you've been building those relationships. And so when you challenge yourself to do those 10 and you're sending that particular message right there, are those a part of the people that you just send that to that you've never communicated with, like cousin Susie that you haven't seen for 20 years? Or is it people that you've actually communicated with those conscious commenting on Facebook, and you're like,
it could be both. It literally could be both. If I've done custom conscious comments, but I flip over to their Messenger and I see that I have never sent them a message, so I'm about to cold message them is what I'm about to do. But I make it sound more personal by putting that in the voice clip. So I'll give you an example. And there was a guy that I have done tons of volunteer work with. We put on PBR bull ridings. I've done the marketing for that PBR bull riding for probably 10 years. I haven't in a few years, but he's known me from that. He knew that I worked at that dealership. He runs the whole fitness thing at our huge hospital organization in Wise County where I live. And he's a big fitness guy. Like he does big fitness guy. Okay. So, I was like, I can't believe that I've never even kind of mentioned it. He's never asked. This is just what Susan does. Okay, great. And I sent him that message, and he quickly replied back. He was like, I was wondering what that was all about. He didn't know what Thrive was. He really didn't know. I had not talked to him about it. And so him and his wife and his son all got samples. The son has now been thriving for like 2 or 3 months, about the time that it hadn't been that long, maybe 2 months, because about the time that he got his samples and his son was like, yeah, I want it, was literally right when all the chaos happened with Rona. So they work at the hospital. Their life has been hectic. And so I've kind of just checked in with them, and they're like, don't worry, Susan, life will calm down someday, whatever. But what if I had never sent that voice clip? I needed to. That's just an example of one of my reach outs. Obviously, I do my best to do the custom conscious comments. And if it is people who are non-thrivers, I'm literally writing them over on a little different list. Don't forget someday to go back and actually bring up Thrive. And it may be, we may have 7 messages going over a period of 2 months. And I'm finally going to jump in and go, okay, so I'm sure you've seen my Facebook post, but I'm not really sure that you know exactly what I do. So I do Thrive. I sell Thrive. Would you care if I sent you over some information about it? That's it. They may not. They may not ever reply, but it's my job to send that message. So my reach outs go from a variety of things. And I know that y'all do those working Zooms. If you've ever been on my working Zooms or any of them, everybody has different ideas of what reaching out is. Go back and watch recordings because everybody gives you ideas of what your reach outs are. And let me just tell you something. If it doesn't fit your personality, don't do it. People will know right off that that's not working for you. So, and so it is my personality to just send them a message and go, why the hell are you not thriving with me yet? What's wrong with you?
And that's why we love you.
I was like, what is the problem? So, like Kayla Fox said one the other day, she said, you know, sometimes I just send a message and say, okay, we've been talking about this Thrive thing and now you're not responding to me. Did I offend you in some way? Because sometimes I can be a little much. I wrote that down and I have every intention of sending that message this week, but she gave it to us last week and I still haven't done it because it's not, I don't know that that's really me. So I'm trying to figure out how am I going to word that because that is going to be a follow-up or something kind of crazy. But guys, I can tell you, Billy Holderby said this when we were in New Orleans. Millionaires come from Messenger. Like you got to send the message. So you got to get in people's Messenger. And I will tell you, 15, 16 auto ships and a PPA that has been the highest it's ever been and retention of customers and all that does not come from me not talking to them. I mean, I am constantly in Messenger and which I feel like I could still spend more time in there, right? Like I listen to Kayla Fox and I'm like, I'm kind of a failure. I don't do near as much as she does. So I'm like, I need to get in there more. So I need to spend more time in there. But on these calendar challenge sheets, on these 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheets, and I'll go through a couple more examples with y'all here in just a second. I don't stick to the minimum. Can I? Yes. I have a very consistent team and I feel very comfortable in what our team is doing. And I could spend way more time in being a leader and being a teacher than I could work in my personal business. And I would be just fine if I stuck to just the 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But I don't want to do that. I want to be bigger. I want to have more customers. I want to have so many customers that everybody's like, what in the world are you doing, Susan, that you have that many customers? I love that people say that to me right now. And why is it? Because I'm doing 30 something reach outs and I don't hesitate. I do not fear the follow-up. Sometimes it's not good, but I don't fear it. And I don't mind blowing up social media. And I'm always adding people to my network, not just 2. Sometimes 10 a day that I know we have friends in common, but I don't really know them, but I'm putting them in my network anyway. They are on my social media. And I'm not just connecting with one leader a day. I think Monday was 163 people I connected with on Monday of people in my team. That's a lot of people. Do I do it like one-on-one? No, I don't have time for that. But I'm talking with them here. I'm doing group chats. I'm doing group chats with their people. And because that number has to be big. That's my leadership role, right? So part of the thing that you asked me, Jennifer, is how in the world do I do that all day? I am a wife. I am a mom. Granted, my kids are a little bit older, but I think I was pretty much my 18-year-old's personal assistant today. Okay. And I do want to spend time with them and they need to know they have that stay-at-home mom, but they also understand mom's business. But how do I balance it? How in the world do I get it all done? So I'm about to tell you, and this was a total secret that one of my team members, Tiffany Deeroff, gave to me without fail, is I work in time chunks all day, every day, 20 or 30-minute time chunks, whichever. I will set a timer for 20 minutes and I will do nothing but send messages, I do not look at responses. I send messages. I do custom conscious comments, send messages, do custom conscious comments, 20 minutes. The timer goes off. The phone gets hit, repeat, 20 minutes again. And I will get up and I will go wash the dishes, change the laundry out, make sure the bed is made, or do my Spanish, or check on Briston, or start breakfast, or call my son back, or whatever for 20 minutes that is not Thrive related. It's mama related. It's wife related. Then that timer goes off again. Oop, got to stop. Hope everything's done and there's not bacon on the stove, which there might be. And Then I come back in here and now it's time to do follow-ups. I'm still not responding to anything that I sent out in Messenger. I'm not looking at those yet. Don't care. I hope that it blows up and my Messenger is full, but now it's time for me to do follow-ups. Who am I following up with? I'm following up with everybody who either started their Thrive, maybe this is their second week on Thrive, they got a sample from me, they're on my hot list of people who have not started thriving yet. Again, I don't know what's wrong with them. I pray over them every day. But I like for that list to be big too. That list has to be big or there's not ever going to be anybody to follow up with. I'm just following up. I'll give you some examples of that here in a second. Bam, the timer goes off, back I go. Where am I going to go? Oh, I need to go water my plants. I said I was going to get rid of all the white rocks in my garden today. I need to go make sure something is sent to the post office, or I'm going to do 20 squats. Who knows what that's going to be? But for 20 minutes, there's no Thrive. Maybe 30. Who knows? Okay. Bam, the timer goes off. It's time to come back in here. Now, let's go answer some of those messages that came out from the reach outs. Let's go see if anybody responded to me from those follow-ups. We can do that for a little bit. Okay. Timer goes off, shut the computer, phone goes off, on the charger, off I go. I'm going to go do something else. Now, if I work out, that's going to take an hour. So that means I got to come back in here and I got to sit in here for an hour. Okay. All day, every day, I come in, I go out. I come in, I go out. Do I spend 20 minutes on Netflix? No, not till the end of the night. I don't allow myself to that till the end of the night. That's how I chill out. But I go time chunks. That's how I balance it. Okay. And I have, if you have one of these little 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheets, all down the side of it, it has pray. Got to pray every day. I got to read my Bible every day. I got to say my affirmations every day. I got to take my Thrive scan every day, the little gel. Because if not, I'll go 2 weeks and I'll forget to take it. I have to exercise. I do not do that every day, but that needs to have at least 3 to 4 tick marks before the end of the week. I have to walk every day. It used to be running. I took that off. But I need 8 of those. I need 8 of those tick marks, 8 miles at least minimum. I'm walking every day, every week. Lives. If I didn't put that little note on here, I wouldn't get 1 live done all week. That cannot happen. You got to have at least 3 lives of something. Mine have been Thrive related this week, so there's 2. It's Wednesday. I have 2 lives in already. Tracking my water. That's on here too. Every day I track my water. I got to get the water in. Every day I'm practicing my Spanish. Every day I'm doing a gratitude journal. How many times a week am I sharing a story? How many times a week should you share a story? 7 times a week. You need to share a story. And every day I need to do self-development. Yes, I'm doing my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but all those other things are down the side and up, because if not, I got to think about those. And what's going to happen? I'm going to forget to do my Spanish. I'm going to get sidetracked by something going on with somebody. I'm going to forget to read my affirmations out loud. I'm going to forget to write in that gratitude journal. This way, I balance it. I keep track of it. At the end of the week, this sheet is awful looking. Like, it looks crazy. I wish I could find you last week's. I probably already filed it away. You can't even read it. It's terrible. It's terrible looking. But that's how I do it. I have to. I don't want to think about what I have to do. I mean, I don't want to try to remember it. I want to be thinking about, ooh, who's my next person going to be? I want to be thinking about what I'm going to say in this really clever post. That's the kind of stuff I want to do. Don't waste it with things you got to remember. Write it down, especially as you get older. You don't got a choice. When you talk about life things that happen in my life, yes, we all have life that happens every day. I mean, these kids are crazy and things happen with my husband's work, and life went crazy during the Rona time. I have my mother-in-law that lives right out back. So, you know, there's a reason why she's there. Not that I have to take care of her, but, you know, it's something to do. We just have things that happen. You either had maybe a child that's graduating this year, or you have a sick person in your family, or you have parents you have to take care of, whatever. We all have those things. Some have it a little bit more at times than others. And if you're a mama, you know you got some sort of crisis that's going to happen with your kids at least once a week. Okay. But even if all things were to go belly up and crazy, if you had a regular job that you had to commit to every day, you would still be expected to show up or not get paid, or take a vacation day, or take a paid time off day. And you can only do that so much before none of that's left anymore, right? So in balancing your time and dealing with life that happens, that's why you have one of these. That's why you write that stuff down, because if you know at 10 o'clock you got to take your daughter to the dentist, or son's got something he needs you to do, well, then you need to make sure your stuff is done so that you can give your 100% focus on those things. I can't stress enough, and I have to say this all the time, this is not a sum of the time job if you want to be successful at it. It's a part-time job. It can be a full-time job, but it is not a sum of the time job. And if you treat it as a hobby, you're going to get paid as a hobby. If you treat it as a part-time job, you'll get paid. But you have to be consistent every day. And in 6.5 years, there has been a lot of life happen to me. And there's many things in my personal life that people are like, holy crap, how do you keep going? But I learned from all those things, and I have my goals, and I have my intentions, and I see where the end result is going to be, because a year from now, I'm probably not even going to be thinking about the crap that's going on right now. I can't. So we all have life happen. We all have things that you still every day have to show up and just spend your 30 minutes on this. I tell everybody that I was able to build, thankfully, with some amazing people on our team. We built to a 200K team working this business, starting out 20 minutes a day. I made it to 12K doing this business 20 minutes a day, 7 days a week, 20 minutes a day. Usually after my kids went to bed, during lunch, and before I went to work. Okay. When I got to 40 and 80K, we kind of had to step it up to at least an hour. Because that was a lot. And then when I was 200K with still a full-time job, still a single mom, how did we do it? We had to balance. We just had to do it every day, because if I didn't do it every day, what was going to happen? We wouldn't be where we are today, right? Not at all. So you kind of have to think about that. If you're a brand new promoter, or you're a 4K, or you're a 12K, or you're a 200K, or maybe you're already a millionaire on Jennifer's team, you still have to show up every day, just a little bit. Consistency every day. And I'm pretty passionate about that whole consistency word, because it changed our world. It completely changed our world. I look back on it and I'm like, wow, what if I'd have made the excuse if my job was taking too much time? What if I'd have made the excuse that, well, I'm a single parent, I have to do everything? What if I'd have made the excuse of just the crap that happened in my life shortly after starting this whole Thrive business? What if I'd have used all those? I wouldn't be where I am today. So you really have to think about that. Is today the day that you're going to say, I can't keep doing that. I've got to say, I'm doing this every day. I'm going to be one of those 33 people who earn their car bonus and get on their first trip, if we ever get to take those again, because I'm going to do this 90 days without fail. And I'm going to step it up, and I'm going to double and triple it 90 days without fail. And there's going to be days that it's going to be hard. And there's going to be days that you're going to be like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for it today. I'm going to lose my mind. And you know what? That may happen every once in a while, but you can't stay in that space. You have to come back and double up what you missed the day before. Who was I talking about this the other day about? Let me just go ahead and share with you. Yes, I love my PPA. Yes, I love how many customers I have. Yes, I feel like I have a lot of things going for me. There are days that I'll see somebody else shout it out in this Lavelle world, and I'll be like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I have been working this business for this long, and that just happened to that person who's been here for 6 months. Tiny little bit of jealousy. I'm human. Don't judge me. And I will get really upset about it, or I'll feel like I failed, not just that, but I'll feel like I failed somewhere, and I'll be like, man, I just don't know how that just happened, or whatever. And I will, without a shadow of a doubt, either call one of my sideline sisters, or I'll call Maria, and Maria will give me 5 minutes to pout about it. 5 minutes to be in that comparison game. 5 minutes to bitch and moan about it, be jealous, be salty about it, just be when I got kicked out of the Final Four of the whole Thrive Madness, I was salty about it for a few days. Actually, I'm still talking about it, so maybe it's been a few weeks. But she lets you stay in that space for 5 minutes. Guys, that's human. It's part of being a female too, or man. It doesn't matter. It's human to do the comparison game or to feel like you've let yourself down somewhere or you failed somewhere. But you can't stay in that space. Now, I do tell Maria sometimes I'm going to take 30 minutes, so deal with it. I'm going to go 30 minutes. I'm probably going to go watch an episode of Friends and get happy. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start over. Because if I stay in that space, what's going to happen? I'm going to dwell on that, right? Without a shadow of a doubt. I had this same conversation when this whole Rona thing started. Do y'all love that? That's my nickname for it. Okay. There were people around in my circle of friends who had never lost a job before, who were losing their jobs, who were coming home and having to be on mandatory furlough, who were freaking out about what was going on in the world. And I said, I can't stay in that space. I can't. I mean, I pray for them and I feel for them and I'm listening to them, but I can't get there. I can't automatically assume that everybody is not going to purchase anything from me because of this whole chaos that's going on in the world. I can't do that. I can't. When the whole, what was it? It may have been the goat thing where you had to have, I can't remember. There was some other.
1,000 new volume.
You'd have 1,000 there, but there was something before that where you had to have $1,200 in new PPA to get something. Some promo right before that. And every time one of those comes out, guys, 5 minutes, the self-doubt, the Satan, the, oh my God, how in the world am I going to do that? Always creeps in. You can't tell me that that doesn't happen to you too. It does. And it happens to me. And then I just go, I'm not staying in that space. I'm not believing that I can't do this. Oh yeah, the stimulus promo. That's what it was. You're right. It was scary, but I didn't stay there. And I powered through and I kept doing the things that I knew how to do. I knew how to do this. So we were just going to do it. And that's what I did. I earned that stimulus. I earned that GOAT promo. You want to know how I earned that GOAT promo? I earned that GOAT promo in 5 minutes because what do you know? All those auto ships I had been busting my tail on for months dropped that morning. And when they released that and that thing popped up, I already had them all on there. I was like, well, that might have been the easiest thing I've ever done. But it wasn't easy. I worked on it for months. I didn't know that's what it was for. So that was awesome. That was great. And then Maria launches this Tory Burch thing. She always jokes that if she was given an ink pen away, I would figure out some way to win it. It's very true. I'm very driven by that stuff. And I have yet to win anything. So I'm like, I'm going to get 4 more chances in that. And after 10 chances, if I haven't won one thing of Tory Burch, I'm going to be mad at everybody else who's competing against me. And I'm going to be salty against y'all. I'm just letting you know. But point being, we have to stay in the positive mindset. So here's what I know. In April, when the world was shutting down, I mean, it started kind of in February. It was really getting crazy in March. But April, the world was shut down, right? My biggest, largest personal volume month in 6.5 years because I didn't let myself get in that space at all. So if you are one of those that was in that and is still like, well, everybody around me losing their jobs and I'm afraid to ask anybody out, erase it, get it out, move it along. Did I have people who came back to me and said, hey, Susan, my job's not real stable right now. Could check back with me later? Or Susan, I'm sorry, I just lost my job yesterday. Check back with me later when things change. Don't think I didn't write their names down. I did. I saved it. But I would come back and go, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm going to put you on my prayer list right now. No doubt about it. So I still built that relationship with them. Someday they're going to come back and they will thrive with me. But I never hesitated, still sending probably more messages than ever because everybody was at home, right? We couldn't go anywhere. You might as well work. Might as well try to build your business during that time. So that was something that all of you just had life happen. Now things are starting to get back to normal, but guess what I'm still doing every day? This, every single day. Same thing, same thing, same thing. I sound like a broken record sometimes, but that's totally okay. So let's talk about real quick now, what do I do on the follow-ups, and what am I going to say to people? What am I going to do? So I have to tell you on the back, I want y'all to look at this. This is the back of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet. It's a good thing I can read it, because I don't know if y'all can read it, because it's crazy. So what I do is I immediately have my first column is everybody new that started thriving with me in the last 30 days. Okay. Customers or promoters, doesn't matter. The last 30 days, this is all these people. That's a pretty big list. Like, I'm pretty impressed with this list. I just want y'all to know. And ones that are literally maybe haven't even gotten their Thrive yet, they're underlined because they are definitely top priority. So here we go. I'm like, hey, checking in with you. What are some things you're loving about your Thrive? But I also am looking at this list going, okay, she has Thrive now for 3 weeks. Let's go. Hey, following up with you, tell me the things you're loving about your Thrive in this first 3 weeks. Why do I do that? I don't ask them if they're liking it. I don't ask them if they're going to auto ship again. I just tell me what you're loving. What are you noticing? Okay. They're also going to come back and tell me the things that they're not liking, and then we're going to work around that. Be prepared. Somebody who just literally got their Thrive. I know they don't have it yet. Hey, just following up with you, letting you know it looks like your order is coming today. I cannot wait for you to get started. Make sure you watch my video. I'm going to tell you about this video that I send to everybody. If you don't have it, I'll send it to Jennifer and she can send it out. It literally is a video with me going, oh my gosh, today is your first day of Thrive. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to put these capsules by your bedside. You're going to drink this 20 minutes later. You're going to put your patch on now. Here, listen to me. Don't freak out. Don't be drinking any caffeine with this. I want this to work for you. I'll check back in with you later. Have a great day. I'm so excited for you. It is me. It is me talking to them. That's one of my follow-ups too. They get that. If you don't have that video, apparently lots of people love it because it's super crazy and funny. I mean, those are, I'm trying to think. If somebody who's been thriving for, okay, it's time for their auto ship to come again. I sent this out to everybody today. Hey, I'm following up with you. Just so you know, auto ships are going Friday. Friday? Are they going Friday, the 22nd? Is that right? The same day the bars open up, I'm just saying.
It's Friday.
Anyway, that was a joke. So not really, they really do open up. Hey, I'm just following up with you. Your auto ship is set to go out this Friday. So you've been doing vanilla shakes. Would you like to switch that up to something different? That's one of my follow-ups. If I have a ton of credits, I'm like, hey, your auto ship's coming up Friday instead of Monday. Yay. I'm throwing some credits on your account to help with your order. Guys, it may be $5. I don't know. When you have this many customers going through, you got to split those credits up a lot. Here's something else that I can't remember who I learned it from. I send a thank you note to everybody. Every customer who thrives with me in the month. That takes a lot of time. I don't care if they've auto shipped. I don't care if they're brand new. I don't care if they've been with me for 3 months and they just keep auto shipping. Every month they're getting a thank you note. So here's what's went into my thank you notes, and they're just little bitty thank you notes. Okay. This month they all got 2 recharge patches. Hey, I just want to thank you again for thriving with me. I know you're loving it. Enclosed are some of our new recharge patches. Wear this only at night. It's going to recharge your immune system while you sleep. I hope you have a great day. Or thanks for thriving with me or something. Very short and sweet. You would not believe how many of them come back and are like, oh my gosh, I love those patches. Can I get those on my next auto ship? Or they'll just come in and order them. Those 2 little patches are nothing. I did send Thrive Skin to 4 people, and all 4 of them replied back to me today because they got that Thrive Skin. Oh my gosh, how do I use this? I cannot wait. It's the little sample of Thrive Skin. I put it in that envelope and sent it. It takes a while. Now, if you only have 2 customers, it don't take very long to write thank you notes, but it's imperative. Guys, that's a good follow-up. That's not a text. That's not a voice clip. That is a personal note. Make a habit of it. It's a lot of work. This is how many people had to get thank you notes. I sent 25 out on Monday. I spent most of Sunday writing the thank you notes of everybody who had ordered and auto shipped as of Sunday night. Okay, so most of my auto ships go through on Friday, so I will be busy this weekend writing more. Okay, those are just a couple of my follow-ups. Super duper important that I put dates next to everybody on the back of the sheet. I don't care how many times I followed up with them last week or whatever. I know that at least once a week, these people are going to be, I'm going to touch them at least once. Okay. Some of them are twice if they're new. Okay. So I have that customer list, the people who have been thriving with me from 1 day to 30 days. My next list is people who've been thriving with me for 90 days. Okay. I'm not following up with them as much, but I'm still following up with them, right? Hey, checking in on you. How's your second month going? What are you loving most that you're noticing this month? Okay, something. Or hey, just checking in with you. Your auto ship's coming up. And by this time, I've built a relationship with them, so I might be asking them about their kids. Who cares? That relationship is why they keep ordering from me. Then, okay, so I have my current customers, anywhere from 30 to 90 day customers, and then I have my potentials hot list. At one point, that list was 75 people. My goal is to flip at least 2 or 3 of them per week over to the customer list, right? Or promoter list. So I have my potentials and my hot list. Those are the ones that I literally, sometime this week, I'm going to go in and follow up with them and say, did I offend you? I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to try, but I don't know if I can do that. And then I have a samples list. Those are people probably on my hot list, but they've got samples. I got to stay in touch with them. I have a love-hate relationship with samples, but that's a whole nother day. And then I have my like really hot working promoters that are literally like they're either in VIP or, you know, they've been with me for a while, but they still need a lot of guidance for me to stay in touch with them. I make sure I'm working on them too. Okay. So that's all the stuff that's back here. Can you imagine? That list gets crazy. But if not, guys, you literally will go back and go, oh my gosh, that girl's auto ship's coming up on Friday and I have not talked to her all month. It has happened to me. They don't usually stick with you for very long if that happens. Okay. So just be prepared. Okay. So that's pretty much like reach out, some follow-ups, how I balance, how I do my calendar sheet. What else you want to know?
I want to backtrack just a little bit because I'm floored and I never heard this story. And well, first of all, I want to tell the team, I remember sitting with you. I don't know where we were. We were in Grapevine with Mariette, something that she was doing. And we were actually sitting at the kitchen table working and you and I were sitting next to each other and you brought your notebook in and my mouth just dropped to the floor. I'm like, what is that? I like that. What is that? Show me, show me. And I just felt like that day I learned so much from you. And that's exactly why I have my notebook with all my papers in it. And that day is when I started writing everything down because of you. And so we who have one promoter or we who have 100 promoters, we are in a mindset of always learning, right? So we have to feed our brains. We have to, be inspired by people like Susan Kaufman. We just have to stay in that positive mindset and stay in our own lane, right? But I did want to tell you thank you for that day. And I remember it so well because you brought that notebook and I'm like, what the heck is that? And then by the time we left that table, I'm like, dang! And I went home and I got my notebook together, girl. But I want to backtrack just a minute. You said that when you originally started the calendar challenge and you decided to share it with your team, you had 33 auto bonus earners. And I'm assuming it was the same 33 people who qualified for their first lifestyle getaway because they committed to 90 days. To me, that was powerful. I had never heard that from you before, but I want you to backtrack on that and just close us out with that. What did you guys do and what does it take to commit to 90 days? Because that's powerful. 90 days going 12K, staying committed, doing the do to get the get. I mean, obviously that's what happened, but talk to us a little bit about that and then close us out.
I mean, that's really what we did. I mean, I asked them if they wanted to stay committed to it. Obviously, we started out with 36, maybe 37, and only 33 qualified. So that just tells you that the other 3 or 4, they didn't stay committed. They let life happen. They let distractions happen. The other ones were like, I'm staying in it. If it doesn't work after 90 days, then, well, you gave it your best shot. But you wouldn't be able to say, oh, I tried and it didn't work. if you do it every day and they stayed in the grind with me. So we kind of did, I created our own little calendar challenge Facebook group. Wasn't very hard because there's only, 36, 37 of us in there. And each day I would post that, and I did like a little challenge at the end of the week. I want you to post your completed calendar challenge. Now, here was the deal. There were three-way calls and three-way chats on that original calendar challenge thing. You didn't get to turn that sheet in if all you did was listen to calls and do self-development and get one free account. You had to do everything on the sheet. This one doesn't have near as much stuff as that calendar challenge sheet. You had to do everything, which means you had to tune in to Lavelle Live Tuesday and Thursday. You had to be on my team call. You had to do so many three-way calls. I wish I could, let me just remember what was on this.
Those of you that are wanting it, I'm going to bump it up in our team page because I actually have it. So I'll bump it up later, but go ahead and tell us.
You had to read your positive affirmations. You had to post something Thrive related. I said one time a day. I don't do that now. I do more than that. You had to look at your VIP report. You had to reach out to at least 3 non-thrivers, 21 a week. That's so funny because I do more than that in a day. These are funny. You had to listen to the 24-hour call. You had to listen to the 7:15 Monday morning motivational call. We've been doing that for a long time. You had to listen to my team call. You had to be on 2 more team calls. They could either be Maria's or Lavelle Live's or something. You had to enroll 50 free accounts per month. That's hard. You know, when Paul just came out with that 40 something in 3 days, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I did it. 44. Yes. So you had to do 3 three-way calls per week. You had to check in with your upline. You had to do a live video, and then you had to post your completed calendar challenge sheet. And those 33 people did every bit of that every single week for 3 months. And that's how they did it. They did not cheat on anything because they would just be cheating themselves, but they stayed consistent with it, and they stayed engaged with me because we were a much smaller group back then. So they stayed engaged with me, and then they passed it on to their teams. They kind of led their own version of that, so because the original 33 were the original, or 36 or 37. If they built it onto their teams, then they were working that, but they consistently stuck with it. And that's all we can ever say. I mean, if you consistently did something every single day, let's take working out, walking, running. If you do it every day, you will see the results in 30, 60, and 90 days. But if you go to the gym once a week and you're mad after the end of the month because you don't have the abs that you wanted, are you kidding yourself? Like, you didn't do the work to get there. And sometimes that's a little harsh for people to take because it's so much easier to not do it. It's so much easier to not show up. It's so much easier to use your family, your kids' life as your excuse. But you wouldn't be able to do that at a regular job. I mean, you can't. And that's tough for people to hear sometimes. But, when you look at my social media, unless you're really in my inner circle, you don't know all the crap that would make anybody stop going forward in everything. Looking back on it now, I'm like, what were those things? I know they happened. Who cares? Divorce. Yeah, he's living in a smaller house than me, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, but just kidding. That was a joke. But you have to think about that. What if I would have let that stuff stop me? The crap that goes along with it. Mind you, I was divorced before I got into this. I was a single mom when I started this. There's a whole lot of mess that goes on for years. And just life, crazy life, but you got to show up. And I often say this, man, throw it at me. I can take it. I can do it. Please don't throw anything at me. I'm not ready this week. So, but you got to stay committed. Who in the world couldn't spend 20 to 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week doing this? And if you'll hurry up and get it done first thing in the morning, you ain't got to worry about the rest of the day at all, right? So kind of think about that, because at the end of the night, you're like, oh, I'll just do it all tomorrow. You won't. And then you'll stay in that space, and you'll keep making excuses. And I tell you what, when you commit to something for 90 days and you start to see the payoff, and those team members come in and they start making excuses to you, you really just want to roll your eyes and be like, please, because those don't work. It just doesn't work. So you just got to stay in the grind with that. Well, that was a pretty harsh ending, so that's where I'm going to stop.
All right. So one last question for you. What is your greatest strength besides following up and reaching out? And what is your greatest weakness?
If you would ask me a year ago, my weakness would be following up, because I was scared of it. I was scared of rejection. I don't handle negativity very well. But today I would say it's my strong suit, not because I figured it all out on my own. I just learned from other people. I'm going to tell you, if y'all don't listen to Kayla Fox on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you should, because she will literally, she's great. And I have learned so much from her. And so I would think now that just being consistent, doing this and staying in the grind, even when everything else is happening, is probably my strength. My weakness is if somebody rejects me, I have to literally, I go pout for a little bit. Or if I lose something, I go pout for a little bit. Just know it. If one of you beats me in this Tory Burch thing, I'm going to be salty with you for about 5 minutes. I just want to win. But I would say that. And another weakness is, gosh darn it, we're human and we're female. A lot of us are females on this call. Comparing yourself to somebody else on whatever it is. And we just cannot help it. If you have mastered that and you don't do that, God bless you. You are phenomenal. And I would say with age a little bit, it gets a little bit easier each time, but it's human, but you can't stay there. You're like, okay, who knows what happened over there? Let's move on. Every one of us have something that other people are going to look at and go, man, I wish I was her in that situation, or I wish I had that, or whatever. And they don't know all the stuff you had to get through to get to that point. Right. So it's very easy for them to compare, but that would be a weakness of mine too. And I easily get my feelings hurt.
Well, you are a blessing. You are an inspiration. You're definitely a leader that leads by example, and you inspire me every single day. I'm blessed by your friendship. I didn't know you before, Lavelle, and I think that that's one of our greatest things here with this company is the people that are brought to us via this company, whether they are in our downline or sidelines. It doesn't matter. Thrivers are thrivers, and they become family once we all join, and you are just an inspiration. You're amazing. People are just naturally attracted to you. You're fun, you're bubbly, you're beautiful, and you got it together, girl. You do the do to get the get. That's why you are Susan Kaufman. That's why you are a Lavelle millionaire. That's why you are spectacular. And we totally appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. I can't say enough, girl. I could go on and on. I love you. But those cabinets are going to be white, and I'm going to send you a picture tomorrow, okay?
Yes.
And I want to see
everybody. Thanks everybody for jumping on, and I'm super honored that you asked me to be on, and I super appreciate all the kudos for sure. They make me feel happy.
All right, guys, I got this recorded. I also have it live in our team page. We are doing a promo for tonight. Hop on over to our team page and post your notes from tonight to get entered. Everybody have a wonderful night. Susan, thank you so much. Bye, guys.